During Final Fantasy XIV's patch cycle, the high-end raiding community starts becoming more active because of the release of the upcoming Savage tier. This is when all of the crafter and gatherer Final Fantasy XIV creators start putting together guides, but what I don't see often here on YouTube is how to prepare for week 1 as the raider. When I was new to the game, I wanted to jump into a week 1 group straight away, but no group in their right mind would recruit me because I had never done Savage before. There also weren't many resources on what to look for in terms of getting that experience, so that's what today's video serves out to do. What does it take to prepare for a week 1 clear as the raider? And what should I be doing to improve at the game? But for those of you new here, my name's Samir. I was once a new player, turned hardcore raider, turned ultimate raider, turned rank 1 player. And every tier after Anabasios, I've cleared week 1. And recently, I've cleared the Futures Rewritten Ultimate week 2. It took a lot of time and effort to get to where I am today, but hopefully with the information I'm about to share with you, it should hopefully take you less time than it did for me. So without further ado, what would be the first thing I would do if I wanted to prepare for a week 1 clear? Well, that's actually really easy. You need to make it your goal and work towards that goal. I know that might be stating the obvious, and chances are that if you're watching this video, that is already the case. However, the reason why this is extremely important is that you need to find 7 other people who share that same goal. Meaning, you have to take a step back and really analyze what we're aiming to accomplish. Do we want to clear as fast as possible? Is a day 7 clear all you really care for? Are you okay with trying your best and it doesn't matter when you clear? All of these are important questions you should be asking yourself, because if you end up raiding with other people who don't share similar aspirations as you, all that's going to do is cause friction and resentment and significantly increase the chances the group blows up, which significantly decreases your chance of clearing on the schedule you picked earlier. This comes from my personal experience, and finding the right group takes time. It's extremely worth it to make sure you find the group that's right for you, so that means the first thing I would do is figure out what my goals are. Finding a group can be tricky, but when you do, they will most likely ask you to trial into the group. While each group is different, the outcome they are looking for is to see how you handle different situations that arise during an encounter. Some groups might specifically pick a fight they know you haven't done to see how well you can blind prog. If you have done every fight in the game, some groups might alter the strategies to make them more difficult. This is in order to assess your level of fundamental comprehension of the mechanics. Some trials are simply a vibe check. Whatever the case may be, there are things we can do to be as well prepared as possible for these scenarios. Groups wanting to run old fights will forever be one of the best tools they can use to gauge your skill. Meaning that if you are a newer player to Final Fantasy XIV, you should be trying to do as many fights as possible. This is because Final Fantasy XIV has patterns to their mechanics, and they reappear from time to time in the newer fights. For example, these little balls above our heads, we call them limit cut markers, and they originated from the Alexander raid series. Why does this matter? For example, if you have never done P12S, I, as a static leader, might choose this fight to gauge your blind prog abilities. And about halfway through the fight, we see those same limit cut markers. Now, being blind, you wouldn't know exactly what is about to happen, but you would know that there's an ordering system of some kind, and whatever is about to happen will be a series of rotating responsibilities. I myself have yet to do every fight in the game. It does take time. However, the more and more fights that I go back and do, the better I end up understanding how things are supposed to work for the future. Building off this, if you have never done week 1 before, and let's just say you have never done hardcore savage before, if you were to apply to my group and I go to see that you've completed the older content the game has to offer, I would absolutely give you a trial. On paper, this shows clear motivation and work ethic, and no one is going to turn down a motivated player. There are going to be some resources for where you can find some recruitment discords down in the description. Also, if you have any questions about trialing, feel free to reach out to me directly on Discord. Link is also in the description. Let's take a little bit to talk about flexibility. I want to preface by saying the fastest way you will learn anything in a game is by one-tricking a class or character and taking the time to learn the fundamentals. But once that's done, it's a really good idea to start branching out to other roles. One of the most frustrating things in Final Fantasy XIV is when you find the perfect group, but you can't join because the group isn't looking for your role. One of the best things you can do in this case is to diversify. Unless you're extremely keen on playing a specific job, you'll overall be increasing the opportunities for yourself by playing more jobs. I, for example, play everything the game has to offer, so if a group is looking for a tank or caster, I can fill either of those roles. Additionally, there should be focus on role flexibility. This is especially good if you're a caster player like I am. Being able to swap between Pictomancer, which is high in damage, and Red Mage, which is good for raising, is extremely valuable to statics, and will make you a more favorable pick over someone who's less flexible. Besides your flexibility, statics are looking for certain skill sets that are necessary to make sure a week 1 clear is secured. These skills are consistency, communication, and reliability. Consistency is important because the less time you are spending wiping to mechanics you've already progged through, the more time you can spend progging new ones. Communication is important because of callouts or adjusting on the fly, as well as letting your static know when you don't understand a mechanic just yet and allowing them to explain it to you once again. Reliability is important because showing up on time is something statics value immensely, and you should be committing to the hours you've signed up for. Aiming for a week 1 clear also requires you to be a fast learner. If you're thinking to yourself that you're not a fast learner, I want you to take a step back and remember what I said earlier. Final Fantasy XIV has a series of repeating patterns. Stacks, spreads, ins, outs. These are all things we can anticipate being in fights ahead of time, so that we can get straight to the new mechanics the game throws at us. So even if you have a hard time picking up new mechanics, you can reduce overall prog time by understanding all of the reused ones. Week 1 is a huge time investment. You will need to take time off if you're employed. Groups are most likely looking to raid 8 or more hours in a day, if they are blind. If the group isn't blind, you'll need to be spending more time outside of raid to make sure you can perform the mechanics during raid hours. You should also be spending time meal prepping if your group is going to be raiding 12 or more hours, or at least order your food in a timely manner so that it arrives during your designated break. Progging while eating is hard. I've tried it. I do not recommend. So far, we've talked about goals, trialing, flexibility, and the time investment needed to clear week 1. Is there anything else? I think the most important aspect, in my opinion, for achieving anything difficult in a video game is passion. And how that correlates to 14 is that you just have to play the game a lot. The reality is, unless you're a prodigy, you will need to put in lots of time and effort beforehand in order to start scratching the surface of a week 1 clear. This is exactly the case for me and my aspirations to enter the World Prog stage. Instead of getting intimidated by the journey, I'm facing it head on. I play every day, I watch lots of videos and streams of other raiders, and I never stop learning. If we look at other popular games, for example, like League of Legends or World of Warcraft, we can see that even the players who aren't at the pro level are sinking massive amounts of time. And while your goal might not be to be a pro, anyone who wants to achieve their goal for anything must be willing to spend the time to make it happen. Other than that, the few and little things I would recommend would be to have a second character for split clears. Groups are often looking for this and will most likely be a requirement. This is so your group can gear up faster since the loot is locked to getting loot from a floor once per week. Make sure you're getting enough sleep and eating good, whole foods so that you're able to focus to the best of your abilities. Make sure you are respectful to others and show up on time for the hours you agreed to show up, and overall, just have fun with it. Savage releases are really far from each other, and you only get to prog a fight for the first time once. So really cherish the moment and make sure you're spending it with people you like. That's it for the video. Make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions, and if you're a hardcore raider yourself, feel free to leave anything you think I might have missed down in the comments. I read them all and will answer as fast as I can. I've started a community on Discord, so feel free to join with the link down below. I'll be able to answer all of your questions one-on-one over there, as well as on twitch.tv/S4Samir, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. CST. Leave a like if you found any of these tips helpful, and make sure to subscribe, as I will be sharing everything I come across when it comes to raiding in Final Fantasy XIV. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.